Okay, hello, Bob Jackson here, the K through 12 educational liaison for the PRISM Project at Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. This is going to be the third informational video that I've made for the series that I'm doing this fall. Okay, trying to help some of the PRISM teachers out there and teachers that are perhaps maybe first starting to use Moodle, the Moodle LMS, and doing some online teaching. Okay, today's topic, what I want to talk about is mastery learning, or what I will call mastery learning. Whereas there are some things that I feel that you can do when you go to authoring your own Moodle courses or your own online courses. They could actually be on other learning management systems. It's just that the settings and the way you do them will be a little bit different on each system. I do know that you can do it on the other some other learning management systems. Okay, but what I'm calling mastery learning is where you are doing things to promote your students to keep doing better, to improve upon their performance as they go through your exercises, your worksheets, your assignments, and even your quizzes and your exams and different activities that you have on your course. Okay, so in other words, the goal is for a student to master this before they go to the next thing, master that before they go on. Okay, and there are settings, if you know about them, on a learning management system that you can use to promote and create this actual mastery learning. Okay, and the thing about it being online and on a learning management system, it's not it doesn't give this way or that way. You know, a teacher can be kind-hearted and give a break to student, but when you put settings in on your learning management system, if it cuts off a due date is a due date. It's not going to accept anything after. When you set some of these mastery learning things to where the student has to do this before they go on to that next thing, it's going to be okay. Like one of the things you can do is, like, they can't do this assignment before they go to the next one. Okay, so it's not like you're sitting at your desk and you've told the students they can't do this assignment before the next one, and one of them doesn't get done with the first assignment, but he asks for the second because he wants to take home and work on them both. You can go ahead and give them from your desk at school, if you so choose. On a learning management system, it's locked down, like, until they get the given assignments done the way you set it up. They cannot go on to the next. Okay, so you do have to be aware of that kind of thing, that there is no leeway with the settings on that. But now then, I'm going to take you to my course, the chemistry course, because it's the thing I know best is teaching chemistry. And I'm going to show you some ways in which I would create some mastery learning in my course, okay, for students. And it's just simple things that you can do, that you're already putting the assignments and the lessons and the activities onto the course, but there's settings that you can put on them to actually promote and do the mastery learning type stuff. Okay, so here I'm in the course. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come to my Unit 1, Essential Ideas, Matter, Properties of Matter. Okay, in this unit, okay, I can come down here to where I've got my lessons and activities laid out. Okay, so I come down to my assignments here. Okay, here's assignment 1. Okay, the students do this study questions 1.1. Okay, and it'll have a due date on it and so forth, however you set it up. Okay, then I come to the second assignment. Okay, I want you to notice here, if you look and can see on the screen, it says study questions 1.2, Then it says underneath it, restricted, not available unless you achieve a required score in study questions 1.1. Okay, I have set that parameter up. Okay, now then the way that you do this, when you put this assignment in, or you can change it at any point in time. Okay, once you have the assignments on your course or in your section of course, okay, by going to edit settings, okay, I go into edit settings, I'm on this assignment. Okay, now then, of course you can set your availability dates, okay, and your due date. Okay, those most of you know how to deal with. Some of the things that some of the people don't realize that you can do to take these lessons to a different level and make it to where you got mastery learning going on. In other words, you set requirements that they have to do before they do this assignment. Okay, and down here the main setting that I use for is restrict access. Okay, now then, in restrict access you're going to get this. Okay, let me take this back here. Okay, see what it'll let me. Okay, yeah. Okay, I wanted to back it off there because I already had the setting in, and I want to take it out where you see it for the very first time when you open it up. You click on restrict access, you'll see this. Okay, you can restrict by date. Okay, I don't know that that is really a mastery learning type setting. That's just where you're not going to make the assignment available to them until a given date. Okay, but when you get into the mastery learning type settings, when you come to grade here, you click on grade, and then on this screen you're going to take your settings. Like it says, a student must match all the following. Okay, or you can change it to any of the following. Okay, if you put more than one restriction down here. Okay, I'm just leaving it on a student must match all the following. Okay, then you're choosing, and what you're going to see in this drop down menu is all your other assignments in this course. Okay, so then that's where you can select the what you want them to master before they go into this. And what I wanted on this one was study questions 1.1, because it's study questions 1.2. Okay, so I select it, and then I can select then what I want to. Do they just have to complete this? You can have it to where they just complete this. Okay, but you can also put in the settings here, which I'm doing. They must be at or above 50% on that assignment. But I could put it at 70% if I wanted to. If they haven't acquired that, then they can't go on. Okay, now if that's your only restriction, then you're going to save that. Okay, if you want to put more restrictions, then you come down here. All right, maybe they don't have to just finish study questions 1.1, but they've also got to do the crossword puzzle that you give them to do or something. You could select that. Okay, and then when you have your settings in, then you can save and return, and then you're going to have it, and then it'll show on this screen here, and it will show your students that in order, before they complete this assignment, they must do these things. Okay, and that is that's why you can set up some kind of mastery type learning with just simple assignments. Okay, now then, I like to do it with quizzes, and there's something else more that you can do with like quizzes and your assessments. Okay, and that's where you're going to go on them. Okay, like I have a quiz here. This is Unit 1 quiz. Okay, I'm going to go to the edit settings on it, just like I was doing on the assignment. Click on edit settings. Okay, now then, I have that restrict access just like what I just showed you. It's the very same setup as on the assignments, where you can pick out the things that they must complete. Like on this one, I put study questions 1.1, study questions 1.2, and then also the crossword game that I put on there. Okay, and you can put in what level they must attain on them. If you want them at 100%, put them at 100%. They have to have gotten on study guide 1.1. You can put it on 1.2 and so forth. That's totally up to you. Okay, that's your authoring. But now the other thing I like to do is if you come up here to grade, okay, on quizzes and tests, or any of them that you put in through the quiz activity, which could be a quiz or a test. Okay, it's according to how you're using or other type of assessment, I suppose. Then a nice setting for mastery type learning is to go to the grade and you have attempts allowed. You can offer more than one attempt on your test or your quiz. You can offer up to unlimited attempts. Okay, now I've done unlimited attempts before for mastery learning, particularly on quizzes. My tests I didn't so much. My quizzes build my students up to my test, and I like to put unlimited on my quizzes, but then on my timing I will make the quiz open and close in like an hour period of time. Okay, or 45 minutes or whatever you want. It's all according to what your quiz or whatever it is. Give a significant amount of time, and that time that you give could allow them multiple attempts. Okay, and however many attempts they get in, but when the quiz or test closes out, it closes out. Okay, and then what I like to do is, alright, if I put unlimited attempts, or some of you might choose that they only get 2 or 3 attempts, and you're not going to give them unlimited, but that's totally up to you. You and how you work with your students is it's totally up to you. Okay, and then you go to the grading method, and you can choose, alright, if you want to be a nice guy and you want to reward them, and you can change this from assessment to assessment. It's all according to where you're at in the course, what level of students you're working with, and like if it's an AP course or whether it's a general course. Okay, is you select here, like I like to select average grade. So if I give unlimited attempts on a quiz and they got 4 or 5 attempts in, okay, I'm not the one that wants to give them their highest attempt that essentially erases the fact that it didn't do so well with the first. I like them improving. Okay, so I put average grade, and it's going to average all their attempts. Okay, so that's just a neat setting that you can do on Moodle, and I'm sure you can do this on, I know you can do it on Blackboard Learn, and I assume you can do it on Canvas and some of the others. But those are some mastery learning type settings that you can do to really promote some mastery learning in your courses, in your classes. Okay, that's just my little short lesson on some mastery learning type stuff. Please give me feedback on these. Let me know if this is helping you and giving you ideas and showing you things maybe you did not already know. And if some of you are doing some other mastery learning type things with your courses, I know there's other mastery learning that I can spend a longer amount of time on, or actually get some teachers that are actually utilizing it, and that's the actual lesson activity on Moodle. It's totally about mastery learning. But I didn't want to do that for this lesson. I just wanted to show you how you could take some of the things that you're already kind of doing, because a number of you have assignments and activities and so forth on your course, and perhaps do not know how you can do those types of settings. Okay, so that kind of wraps this session up. Please give me feedback and your thoughts on these lessons and activities that I'm talking about. Have a good week at school.